Thank you for being here and for giving us the chance to present. We are team Bernik. Our team was founded by two people, me, Nicolas Beratlis, and Natalia Clementi. I'm a research scientist in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, and Natalia Clementi is a PhD student also in the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Carl Ginder has been our mentor for the past 6 months. The company Bernik specializes in safety products for the road, starting with TrueHUD, which is the first retrofit heads-up display for motorcycles. TrueHUD is not just a single product. TrueHUD is actually a platform that can integrate safety technologies into the heads-up display functionality.
Every year, there are 100,000 motorcycle accidents in the US, and 5,000 of them result in fatalities. These numbers are not including close calls. These accidents have a really high cost. In the worst case, we have death, but also we have serious and permanent injuries that end in hospitalization that causes expensive bills and also lost days at work. Being a motorcyclist is a dangerous activity. This is the reason why they take seriously safety properties. But also, they have really common distractions that compromises safety, like looking at the GPS, checking the speedometer, or glancing the rearview mirrors. We believe that a device that helps the rider to keep the eyes on the road can help increase the chances of avoiding accidents. Our solution is a heads-up display. A heads-up display is a device that projects information in front of the rider, as you can see in this figure. This device has been implemented for long years in the Air Force, and also it's been implemented in cars for the last 20 years. It also has been proven that this type of technology diminishes the distractions on the drivers. But we don't have this kind of devices yet for motorcycles. And this hasn't happened because it's been a technical challenge to include this kind of devices on the motorcycle or the helmet. The heads-up display benefits can be clearly shown, are going to be clearly shown in these two videos. On the left-hand side video, what we have is a common situation when the rider is looking down, it's looking down at his phone, checking what is going on in their phone, and they lose track of what is happening on the road. Unfortunately, this is the only option that we have today. On the right video, we will see a real footage from a prototype we built. This is TrueHUD in action. As you can notice, there is a transparent image projected in front of the rider. You will see and you will notice that the rider never looks down. The information is always in front, and the rider can keep the eyes on the road.
So the value proposition of TrueHUD is simple. Reduce rider distractions and keep the focus on the road. Also, it provides a more comfortable and more enjoyable riding experience. So we went out and we talked to 60 riders and 3 sales managers, and the interviews were very helpful. They confirmed the fact that for many riders, performing one of the tasks we mentioned earlier is actually a problem. So let me give you an example. Marco is a guy that rides sports bikes. He made a conscious decision not to use the GPS while he rides. It's not because he's lazy or he doesn't want to spend money on getting a mount. When we ask him why, he doesn't want to look down. So what he currently does, when he wants to use the GPS, he memorizes the directions, and then he forgets. So he stops on the side of the road, takes out his phone, checks again, and continues. So this is very annoying, and it can also be dangerous if you're stopped on the side of the highway. What we found out is that there were at least 5 more people that do exactly the same thing. They don't use the GPS while they ride. What other people like Anson try to do is they use the audio. But we found out that this is a problem for two reasons. At high speeds, there is wind noise, and you cannot hear the audio, so it doesn't work well. And also the way the audio works, it says the directions once, and if you forget what it said, you end up missing a turn, which is also very annoying. So based on the interviews we did, we believe there is a market and a need for a heads-up display technology. I would also like to mention that we demoed the prototype with 10 riders, and the reactions were very positive. 3 of them had the wow factor when the information magically appeared in front of them. One of them was like a small kid, excited that got a new toy and shook our hand. Another one asked us to make one for his scooter. And finally, one more rider told us if he had money, he would invest in us. So the market is motorcycles and scooter riders around the world. So this is truly a global market. In the US, there are 10 million motorcycles, which roughly translates to 10 million riders. And overall, there are 30 million motorcycles in developed countries. The immediate market we're going after are people that use the phone or GPS, and that's especially the young riders who are very accustomed and addicted to using the phones. A few words about the competition. If there was no competition, it would not be a good sign. There have been attempts to make heads-up display for motorcycles. The most famous one is the Scully helmet, which raised $2.5 million on Indiegogo, and it was the most successful campaign back in 2013. The company mismanaged the funds, they never delivered the product, and they went out of business. There are other startups with concepts of heads-up displays. Right now, the only product in the market is one helmet that has a rear view mirror, but it doesn't offer GPS, and it doesn't show any other critical information. So by starting the competition and also talking to customers, we found out that many riders are very particular to the brand of helmet they choose. So Tony is one of the guys we talked who is very intrigued by the heads-up display. And when we asked him about the Scully helmet, which was priced at $1,500, his reaction was, it's a great concept, but am I buying a $200 helmet with $1,000 electronics, or am I buying a $1,000 helmet with $200 electronics? And there were many other riders like him. For that reason, TrueHUD is a compact heads-up display that can be added to your existing helmet. So we're going to start by selling TrueHUD online. That is through the company's website and also through our online motorcycle stores. If we go through our own website, we don't give up any points, so we can maximize the profits. And if we go through online store, we give up a small percentage. In both cases, we have to invest money in marketing and driving traffic to the website. We anticipate this to be about 30% of the cost. Also, we're going to explore the possibility of selling directly to dealers. We talked to a couple of dealers that told us if we sell directly to them, there's a 25% margin, and this can go as high as 50% if we go through a distributor. I'd like to mention that some of the dealers we talked to, actually one in particular, was very intrigued by the heads-up display. When we started the interview about motorcycle safety, he stopped us 2 minutes into the interview and he says, you know what I really want? I want a heads-up display that shows information in front of me. We never implied we were pitching a heads-up display. He brought it up. He said every month people come into his store and asking for a heads-up display. We also talked to Rex, who is an accessory expert. He told us the heads-up display is a great product. If the implementation and the price is right, it's something that will easily sell. Also, trade shows is another way we're going to sell TrueHUD and also get in touch with customers. This is a way that we can attract media attention and also create product awareness. So we're going to be making money by selling TrueHUD and also accessories. The cost of making the device is around $70, and that's priced on similar technologies that are in the market right now, and we'll be selling it for $250 for the basic unit. Also would like to explore the possibility of licensing this technology to helmet or motorcycle manufacturers, so we're looking to build strategic partnerships with manufacturers. An important step for that is getting a patent. And also the company will be expanding into other products because this is a platform. We can integrate a rear view camera, or blind spot sensors. And later the company will also expand into the car market. So this is a table with the financial projections for the first 4 years. During the first year, we're going to spend money in developing the prototype we have right now into a finished product that we can take into the market. So a lot of money is going to go into development. The first year also we're going to apply for a provisional patent, and we'll defer the cost of the full patent in the second year, which can be as high as $50,000, depending on which territories we apply to. So the second year, when we're ready to launch, we have the product, we're going to spend a lot of money in marketing and sales, and also continue in research and development. So we can be profitable by the end of the third year. So Bernik believes that heads-up displays will be the standard in all helmets in 20 years. So we want to be the leader in that market. Thank you.
In your feasibility analysis, there was a comment that made me go look up Rebu. You said that you have similar technology to them, and they have a patent on their technology. So have you had anyone look at your whether your designs are different enough that you won't be violating their patent in the process?
That's a very good question. We talked to two people. One is our mentor, Carl Ginder, who has experience in patents, and he fully reviewed the draft that we have now for the provisional patent, and also I talked to Peter Weissman as well. There are similarities, but we're doing it in a completely different way than either Scully or Rebu Helmet is doing it. So we're not worried that we'll be infringing on their...
I would, before you get too far down that path, I would make sure an IP attorney gives you that kind of review as well.
Peter Weissman is.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
And that's actually one of the in-kind prizes we're looking to take
Good.
advantage of.
Okay.
Sorry.
It wasn't clear to me, what information are you going to display initially in a head-up display?
That's a good question. GPS, so based on what the customers like the meaning of GPS, speedometer and information from the bike, that's another of the common distractions, and the ability to see who's calling and answer a phone call. There would be controls on the left handlebar that allow you to manage these without removing your hands from the steering. So that's the minimum information that the riders need right now. Later we can include like a rear view camera, so you see what's happening behind, or blind spot sensors.
Well, that was my question, because I was thinking speedometer, you want to know speed and something else. But there you'll need some kind of device to transmit it from the speedometer. So what about the interoperability of that?
Well, it can be done with GPS, for
Okay.
example, as it's currently done with many apps. The other way would be with a device that is hooked on the bike and with Bluetooth transmits information from the bike. But that's something, for example, when Scully launched, some of the motorcycle manufacturers got in touch with the company and said, okay, we want to customize it for our bikes. So that's something that can be customized with manufacturers for more information from the bike.
Well, what was, you mentioned, you focused on GPS a lot, but what was the biggest issue that they would like to see?
GPS.
GPS?
The coordinates? What GPS data?
GPS will give you like maps. For example, you're going to a place,
Sure.
As you saw in the video, instead of like looking down for 2, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, the information is in your line of sight. Actually, that's an important part of the invention, is that your head is up and your eyes are also looking on the road.
Good. I think you made a good decision by not trying to sell the helmets too, just the integration. But I'm concerned, you said you were going to integrate this with all the helmet manufacturers. That sounds like a challenge.
Not all. We think there's a possibility to license the technology to helmet manufacturers, but not all necessarily.
But what is the interface that you need to integrate with a given helmet manufacturing company?
Well, I mean, for example, the maps, it's something that would be standalone on the device.
Okay,
So the manufacturer doesn't have to build up an app that shows the maps.
but how do you get the map onto the shield of the helmet?
Well, that's done with optics. There's some optical components that are attached to the helmet, but they are very compact, and they wouldn't compromise the structure of the helmet, which is an important step.
What are you adding to the helmet? Is it a new front glass or is it something over it?
There are some optical components, but I don't want to say too much because this is proprietary information. But there are some optical components that attach on certain.
No, what if I buy your product? I need to attach it to my helmet.
Yes,
So what am I attaching?
you're attaching an optical component.
Yeah. So I'm not changing the glass?
No,
Okay.
you're not changing the visor. Because if it goes on the visor, the moment you lift the visor to get air, you lose the information. So that doesn't happen.
Got it.
Cool.
And this is something that works even during day, bright sunlight, not an issue.
Excellent question. So right now for the prototype we can make it work at night, as you saw in the videos, and also when it's cloudy like it is today. But we need to be much brighter to be visible during sunlight. But we know we can do it. The technology is there. We just didn't have the resources at this point to build it. But we know the technology is there. It's not something out of reach. Sorry.
Are there any regulations you have to comply with?
Another great question. This is a new technology, really. So I talked to the best person to talk for that was law enforcement officers. In particular, I talked to California Highway Patrol. They are at the end the guys that will give you the ticket. So they are the ones that interpret the law. And they told us like they didn't know it even exists. And as long as it's a see-through display, it's transparent, it's not a problem. It already exists in cars. It's not any different. But we talked to law enforcement officers, and they don't think it's a problem.
Very good presentation. I really liked your market research, and this is personal to me. I lost my brother on a motorcycle, so this is something that I fully understand. I commend you. Why the helmet and why not wearables? Like Google Glasses or something? Why wouldn't you go with just like a wearable, which are gaining a lot of ground in industry and stuff like that? But I'm just.
It's a great question actually, and when Google Glass was in the market for some time, that's when Scully Helmet basically tried to take Google Glass and apply the same technology into the helmet. If it's a wearable, it has many compromises, and the most obvious one is that every time you have to put like these glasses, and if you're already using glasses right now, it's not an easy step to like you put the helmet, you have to squeeze every time the glasses. So this one is you put the helmet, seamless. So that's the most obvious reason why it's not just like something wearable.
Good presentation.
Is your prototype, is it actually available right now?
Yeah, I mean, the videos are real. Sorry, I have to get in front, guys. Sorry.
The videos
The videos are real. I want to stress that. These are not fake Photoshop videos. These are real videos. It's working.
And what's the problem with that Scully thing?
Yeah.
Has it worked in the market or is it not working? What's the issue with it?
So there were two founders. They raised 2.5 million Indiegogo, 10 million from VCs. They are sued by investors because they spend the money buying cars, going to Las Vegas, and they never deliver all the helmets. They deliver some helmets. But an important thing I like to say since you brought this up, so this is basically the Sky helmet which shows Google Glass into the helmet. What you notice is your head may be up,
Right.
but your eyes are looking down. Down. Our case, the information is in the line of vision. You really don't have to adjust, like it's in the line of vision.
How much does it cost? You said $70 to
To make, yes. Yes.
to make all of the accessories that you need to add to the helmet?
For the GPS and the speed, not for the rear view camera or future developments.
And can the consumer add that stuff themselves, or do they have
Yes,
to bring the helmet
yes,
in?
yes.
Oh,
There are,
Go ahead.
I'm running out of time.
Okay, sorry.
But we can talk more, I'd like to talk more. Quick question?
That's fine.
Sorry.
We'll catch up later on.
Time is up, we have to stick to the.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very good.